Hello dear students, welcome back to our channel Mechanical Engineering Made Simple. Yeah, so there was no video yesterday. I was a little bit engaged in some other academic works. So please don't worry if there is a video missing. Definitely I will make it out. So I will make up that. So don't worry. So we are discussing the very good question. So the main purpose of this video is to give very good important questions from your IC engines, internal combustion engines, which forms very good part of your syllabus for your technical paper. Okay boys, so today we will see that the Otto cycle differs from the diesel cycle from in, so in which of these processes there is a difference between the Otto cycle and diesel? Is it in the adiabatic compression, or is it in the heat addition, or is it the adiabatic expansion, or is it heat rejection? So in both cycles, adiabatic compression and expansion are same, that is the reverse of adiabatic compression and expansion, and heat rejection at a constant volume in both the cycles, but heat addition in diesel cycle is at constant pressure, whereas it is at constant volume in Otto cycle. So your answer is B. Right, next question. On the blow down process of the Otto or diesel cycle, on the blow down process or the Otto or diesel cycle, what happens? The inlet pressure rises, the exhaust pressure rises, or is it that the exhaust pressure drops? Is it that the inlet pressure drops? It is actually, the blow down means nothing but your exhaust pressure is going to drop. So that's called your blow down process. So your answer is exhaust pressure drops. Next question boys, when it comes to compare two engines, the basis is this is a very good question. So there is a confusion, there would be confusion as far as this question is concerned. Is it the horsepower, is it the torque, is it both HP and torque? Because actually HP is equal to 2 pi nt by 60,000, yes or no? N is the RPM, revolution, speed of the engine, and T is the torque. So actually none of these. Okay, so when it comes to compare two engines, I think the thermal efficiency is compared. So none of these is the correct answer. So your answer is D. Next question. The piston indicator diagram is suitable for dash speed and dash engine dash sizes. So the blanks are, is it for low speed engines and small sizes engines, or low speed and large sizes, or is it high speed and small sizes, or is it high speed and high sizes? Actually the piston indicator diagrams are suitable for low speed engines and also large size engines, low speed and large size. Your answer is B. Next question. The efficiency that puts a limit on this is a good question boys, once again. The efficiency that puts a limit on the amount of fuel that can be efficiently burned in the engine. So it is volumetric efficiency, mechanical efficiency, or thermal efficiency, or relative efficiency. What is relative efficiency? Relative efficiency is the actual cycle efficiency by the air standard efficiency, air standard cycle efficiency. That is not the case. Now thermal efficiency, what is thermal efficiency? It is the work output or power output at the crankshaft by the heat rate supplied through burning of the fuel. Okay, so that is not the case. Now is it the mechanical efficiency? No, it is nothing but the ratio of the BHP to IHP. No, that is not the case. So it is going to be volumetric efficiency. So the efficiency that puts a limit on the amount of fuel that can be efficiently burned in the engine is volumetric efficiency. Volumetric efficiency. What is volumetric efficiency, by the way? It is the amount of volume of air mixture taken in at NTP conditions, right? So it is volumetric efficiency. Right, that means actually the actual volume taken is less than the theoretical volume. So that is going to the actual volume taken into a cylinder, or sucked into a cylinder to the theoretical volume that can be sucked through the movement of the piston, that is going to give the volumetric efficiency. So this puts a limit on the amount of fuel that can be efficiently burnt in the engine. So your answer is, once again, let us put the answer volumetric. Next question boys. For supercharged engines, this is once again a good question. Okay, for supercharged engines, the volumetric efficiency is, so all are confusing, right? Especially the last bit, some value but not 0. You might have a tendency to put this as the answer because this is appearing more in the words, yes or no. So don't choose that base, such type of bits. So your answer will be one among the other things. Okay, So for supercharged engines, so naturally it is implied in the word supercharged. Okay, in for supercharged engines, the volumetric efficiency is more than cent%. Okay, it is not 50%, neither between 50 and 100%, nor some value but not zero. It is more than supercharged. Okay, that itself is an indication. So it is more than 100%. Right, next question. The gear drives are, this is once again so related to your gears or transmission. So now how are the gear drives? So what for they are famous? Are they famous for negative with slip, or are they positive drives with slip, or are they negative drives without slip, or are they positive drives without slip? So your belt drive is having slip, so your gear drive does not have any slip, that's why it is called positive drive. Okay, so the gear drives are positive without slip, so your answer is positive without slip. So there is a combination, right? All the combination, negative, positive, slip and not slip. So definitely you are subjected to confusion. So please read the textbooks once again, boys. IC Engines by V. Ganeshan and Automobile Engineering by Volume 1, Volume 2 by Kripal Singh. If you read these two books thoroughly, in addition to your general studies preparation, boys, once again I want to advise you. So those who are serious about the examinations, please go for your general studies paper coaching once. It is one time investment, or it is one time coaching. Similarly, for your those who are serious about the AMV examinations, please mail me on sridhar.bpl@gmail.com. So I will immediately reply you. I will give my phone number. Don't worry. So if you are definitely in need of, I suggest you, I advise you as a sincere, as a senior, okay, professor in the mechanical engineering, I would like to advise you that, suggest you that those who want to get selected, or those who want who are serious about this examination, so definitely I advise you to coaching for a senior faculty like me or anybody, right? But definitely don't depend upon your preparations. So because naturally a guru, okay, will see the your examination from a different perspective. He has got lot of experience in examinations, writing the examinations or selections or whatever it is. Okay, so believe me, I am going to give you the best coaching. If you are interested, so please call me or mail me on sridhar.bpl@gmail.com. right? If you like my channel, if you think that these bits are improving your subject, okay, or aiding in getting your selection or improving your knowledge, so please subscribe, like, comment and share among your groups and contacts. With that request, let us move ahead. So the two non-intersecting and non-parallel coplanar shafts are connected by, these are nothing but your spiral gears. So where bevel gears are used, they are used for connecting the shafts which are having they are used to connect the two gears, okay, which are mounted on the shafts which are intersecting at an angle. Helical gears, they are also used for helical gears, and also spur gears, they are used for for connecting two coplanar and the shafts whose distance is very small. The distance between the shafts is small. This is helical gears. The teeth will be inclined. So on the spur gears, the teeth are straight. So again, there are double helical gears. Okay, these all things I think you must be knowing. If you have read those books, definitely all these concepts are clear. So for non-intersecting and non-parallel coplanar shafts, your spur gears and helical gears used for parallel and coplanar shafts. But here but intersecting shafts are used for bevel gears. But here non-intersecting, both condition must be satisfied, that is non-intersecting and non-parallel shaft, coplanar shaft, these are connected by spiral gears. Right, next question. So the term annular wheel is connected with, is it, so all are again once again confusing options. Is it rock and pinion gears, or is it external gears, or is it internal gears, or is it compound gear train? Once again, so there is a possibility of confusion. So whether to put compound gear train, so all others are given in gears. So this is DBT is in compound gear train. So you have naturally will tend to think like that on those lines. So naturally please don't think like that. So this will be some certain options are given only to confuse you. Once again, let me remind you. So here the term annual wheel is connected with your internal gears. Right. Next question, boys. This is your last bit for today. The two standard. This is once again a good question. The two standard. Once again, all are confusing. Like, let us see the bit. The two standard values of pressure angle connected with gears function among the following are. Is it the set of or is it the pair of 14 degrees and 22 and a half, or is it the pair of 14 and a half and 22 and a half degrees, or is it the pair of 14 and a half and 20 degrees, or is it the pair of 14 degrees and 20 and a half, 20 and a half degrees, right? So you might think that 14 and a half and 22 and a half is might be correct answer. No, it is not correct answer. So the two standard values of pressure angles connected with Gauss function among the following are 14 and a half degrees and 20 degrees. Okay, boys. So let us mark the answer. 14 and a half and 20 degrees. That is your option is C. So earlier bit your internal gates. Okay, so boys, once again, so I am revisiting certain, I am giving the very good and very important bits, okay, confusing bits, okay, which are likely to confuse and which are likely to put you in trouble. So such type of bits I have prepared only for you and only you, right? So definitely I am giving you, I am telling you that I am going to be with you, right? Here and there may not be videos 1 or 2 days, okay, because of some engagement of other works, etc. Busy things, okay, busy schedule, but definitely I am going to make one video per day, at least 5 videos. I am going to make you 5 videos in a week for you only, okay, right? Okay, guys. So if you like my channel, please subscribe. That's the only request I can make you, I can make with you, right? So once again, wish you good luck for your coming examinations, all examinations.